in Riyadh, we have Salman Al-Ansari, a political analyst who is the founder and president of the Saudi American Public Relations Affairs Committee. Exactly, Mr. Al-Ansari, how should we interpret this first meeting since the group was found in 2015 when it comes to anti-terrorism?
Thank you, Wei, for having me. It's actually a very important step that the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has taken with its allies in the Muslim world. If we look at the time of the inception of this coalition, it was actually in the 15th of December 2015, so it was like almost 2 years ago, and right now they have actually told the people and made it public about the strategies and the matrix and the KPIs of this coalition and its objectives, which is very important, because right now in the Arab and Muslim world and in the whole world, we are actually facing, let's call it by its name, an existential threat, which is radicalism, extremism, and how there are countries that want to radicalize the youth and how they want to take over countries, etc. So if we look at this, I think it's a very important step that the kingdom has taken.
Well,
it's a coalition. It's the biggest of its kind. It's the biggest of its kind when it comes to the Muslim world being in one synthesized kind of objective to combat terrorism, not only to combat it militarily, but also the 3 M's: men, mindset, and money, to go and combat it from its roots, which is a very good step, and I encourage it highly.
Many say it wouldn't take place if Iran has not got an upper hand in the Middle East over Saudi Arabia toward the issue of terrorism.
Actually, Martin Luther King said something remarkable. He said, "Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Light only can do that." So I think Iran is a source of darkness in the region. So I'm not very surprised that it's not actually part of this coalition, because if we look at Iraq, Iran is supporting 75 Iranian-backed militias just in Iraq. They are supporting Hezbollah, which is internationally recognized as a terrorist group. They are supporting Houthis, which is actually going against the will of the United Nations and the UN Resolution 2216. So I'm not very surprised that Iran is excluded.
Iran just claimed a virtual success against IS also, which is also internationally recognized as a terrorist group.
Yes, definitely. Saudi Arabia is actually part of the coalition to combat, the global coalition to combat ISIS, which is a great, we have seen a great deal of achievements in the region when it comes to combating ISIS. Iran claims to be in combating ISIS, but I don't think it's actually very accurate. If we go and look at things on the ground, we will realize that actually Iran, in so many instances, have actually benefited from the rise of ISIS, specifically in Syria, so they can protect the Bashar al-Assad, the brutal militant regime in Syria. So let's have it very clear. It's very clear to the region, it's very clear to the world that any militant, despicable group that wants to take over countries in the region by using the ideology of political Islam, etc., will be confronted heavily, not only by the region, but by the whole Muslim world and by the whole world.
لا تنسى الاشتراك وتفعيل التنبيهات لمتابعة كل جديد.